What is a tax deed sale in Florida? That's a great question. And in this video, we're going to cover that because if you really look, Florida is a lien state. So how can they have deeds and liens in this? And this is a great topic. So what I'm going to show you how is you can identify there's always somewhere to make money. In this video, I'm going to show you how there's never a week or a month somewhere in the United States where you can take advantage of getting the property free and clear every single time. In this video, you're also going to learn by being on your game and being on your toes and keeping track of multiple markets at the same time will spell financial freedom for both you and your family. So stick around, we're going to cover all of that. Obviously, if you have any questions during the video, just send them on over to me. In the comment section there, I answer all of the questions personally on that. You know that. If you like the video, thumbs up. If you don't like the video, hit a thumbs up. Subscribe, hit the bell, ding dong, all that good stuff. And I'll help you find financial freedom for you and your family. All right, let's just talk about this. Now, this isn't about Florida. This is about deeds in general, okay? Florida is really the unique dual state if you were out there. So California's got the same opportunity to do this. They just don't take advantage of it. So what am I talking about? Okay, you can buy liens in Florida. Their sale starts in May, and I've got other videos on that. So what you're looking at is you've got a bunch of counties in Florida. They have these lien sales. So when I buy a tax lien certificate in Florida, when the redemption period is over and they haven't paid it, I have the opportunity to foreclose on the property. But unlike any other state out there, I don't foreclose on it and get it. The county forecloses on it and it goes to a tax deed sale. So there are tax deed sales going on weekly in the state of Florida and other areas around. Listen, there's a tax deed sale going on every single month to the tune of over 500. So you're not going to run out of anything here. And Florida is the same way. I'm just using it as our benchmark or place mark, if you will. So what happens there is the county says, okay, they haven't redeemed the taxes. We're going to go ahead and do the foreclosure. So they do the foreclosure, but instead of handing you the deed to the property, they say, okay, we're going to go ahead and bring that up for sale on Wednesday, 2 weeks from now, whatever that might be. Well, wait a second. I thought I got the property. No. It's going to go to a tax deed sale, and you, my friend, are the opening bid plus the 18%. Or whatever your prevailing rate is in that particular jurisdiction. So what happens is it goes to a sale and anybody else has the opportunity to buy this property. So this is the reason I like this technique a little bit. First of all, if I want to buy a lien, I buy a lien. When I go to foreclose, I get my money back. I don't have to deal with the foreclosure as long as somebody buys it at the sale. Now, when I said California does the same thing, back in 1996, I think it was July of 1996, Governor Wilson passed a law there that said California can conduct a tax lien sale if they want. That was the language I missed. I was all excited going, oh my God, California is going to be just like Florida where they're going to have deeds and liens and this and that. Never happened. I think there's only been 2 sales, lien sales in the state of California, Santa Clara, and I do believe it was Orange County. And it was coincidence because this was 96. 2 years later, Orange County had to file bankruptcy. That was a big news back then. So how did Orange County get out of bankruptcy? Guess what? They had a supplemental tax lien sale and in 72 hours got all the money back. Again, there's the power of property taxes. In other words, they went right to the source, got the money, bailed themselves out of the situation. Last time I've ever seen a sale there. So it was kind of a false start, if you will. Okay, so Florida, on the other hand, says, okay, you want to buy a tax lien certificate on it. Remember, it has to be delinquent 1 year. So if I'm going to a sale in May, is when they have to have their sales, by the last business day of May. In Florida, when I go to that sale, I'm buying liens for last year's delinquent taxes only. Okay, only. So I buy that lien on that property. 2 years later in Florida, if they don't redeem, I go back to the county and go, hey, they haven't redeemed on this. I would like to go ahead and start the foreclosure. The county says, okay, they gather all the information. We need to bring the taxes all the way up in current. Here's our fee to do that. I pay them that fee. That's the starting bid. So I will get all of that money back plus interest if I don't bid on the property and somebody else does. Now, What happens if somebody bids on the or doesn't bid on the property and I didn't want the property? You're stuck with the property. You got it. You are the opening bid, so it's going to be put right back to you. So again, this goes back to the research with tax liens. Don't buy a lien on a property that you don't want. So what happens at that point, the county says, okay, we're going to have a sale. That's why anytime we want, and we have these 4 properties coming up, or 18 properties, or 2, whatever the case is, but you're the opening bid. Now, if you want to buy that property because you liked it in the first place, then that's what you do. You go to the sale. Well, some people say, well, this is a little complicated. Why do I have to do all that? Okay, you don't. Don't buy the lien. So if you want to buy a tax lien certificate, you want to buy a tax lien because of the interest rate. You're not doing it to get the property. That's a byproduct of the safety. So you say, well, how do I get the property? You go to the deed sale. So remember, there's 2 different ways to do this. So if I want the property and I want to own it free and clear every single time, then I'm going to go to a deed sale. Period, end of story. So I avoid all the lien stuff. And I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just giving you this as an example. So then I go in there and I buy the deed, and who cares? And I earn the property and I go from there. The challenges you're going to have with these types of sales, of course, you're going to have to do the research. You're going to have to do all that stuff, is the frequency. I know that doesn't sound like a bad thing, but you might not be able to go to all the sales that you want to. For instance, Texas has their sales on the first Tuesday of every month. Okay, there's 256 counties in Texas. You can't be in 256 counties at the same time. You've got Georgia. Georgia has their sales. Guess what day they have them? On the first Tuesday of every single month. Now I've got 2 states. Okay, so between those 2 states, just those 2 states, you've got approximately 400 counties with sales on the first Tuesday of every single month. Okay, bummer, right? Okay, so literally that's why I say there's probably close to 500 to 600 sales going on every single month somewhere around here. You just got to find the niche that you like and make it happen. Now, I have been in a situation where I did need to go to 3 different auctions on the same Tuesday. How do you solve that? Okay, well, there's a new program from Elon Musk where he's cloning everybody, and you get a free no, I'm kidding. There's no cloning going out there. What it is I get a proxy bidder. So what I do is I'll hire somebody, maybe a realtor or a title clerk or somebody like that, or a friend, and say, I need you to go over to Clayton County. I need you to go over to DuPage or whatever the case is. Here's the property I want you to bid on, and here's the max bid. The one thing that I like about proxy bidders is they don't go over the max bid. I know that sounds crazy, but we'll do some videos on bidding. But when I say, this is the money you have and don't spend any more of that, they don't go, but it was a good deal, and start going above that. They never do that. They stick to that. So it's a non-emotional bid. I've seen new students go to an auction and start getting what I call auction fever. And they'll just start bidding on something because they're almost there. So let me give you a clue. If I go to a sale and I bid it up to $50,000, and that's my max bid, and somebody outbids me at $52,000, I did not lose the property for $2,000. I have no idea how high this person was going to go. And when you start playing that game, you're going to lose every time, or eventually. Okay, you have to stick to your max bid on that. Period, end of story. I will go to sales multiple times and maybe not even bid on the property I wanted. If the bidding's going crazy on that, why would I even jump in? Let it go. As it starts to die off, then I might jump in if I'm still under my maximum bid on that. Let those guys deal with all the 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. Let it do all of that stuff. Okay, I'm going to jump in at the end, okay, and then make that purchase. Again, I'm keeping my bid honest. I'm not going to go over my maximum bid. There was one crazy story that I've got. I think this was in Pinellas County. This is back in I want to say 98. And there was a property I was looking at. It was a what do you call it? A condominium. Maybe was worth $129,000. Opening bid was like 12 grand. Okay, I'm wanting to get involved in this property. These 2 guys are bidding like crazy, all the way up to $121,000. The guy next to me wins it. I never talk to people at auctions. It's a waste of time. I'm doing something different, right? I broke my rule that time. And this guy won at $121,000. I looked at him, I go, I don't know if you've seen this property, but it's only worth maybe $130,000. Why'd you bid so much on it? And his comment was revealing. He said, because I didn't want that guy to get another property. And he pointed at the guy that he was bidding against. That was his strategy. Okay, it just reinforced why I don't do that. Okay, you stick to your max bid and you're good to go. Listen, I got a lot of training on this, obviously. I've got so many videos that I've done on the trained over the last 30 years. If you want more information on this, it's free, absolutely free to you. Go ahead and go down to higginsmethod.com. Subscribe to that. We'll send you out the training. I'll also send you a little free gift. It's a book that I wrote called America's Secret Investment Strategy. That's my gift to you to help you and your family hit your financial goals and dreams. This is Saen Higgins saying good luck and God bless.